ring. Charges brought by the NPA included kidnapping, human trafficking, debt bondage and labor law violations. Mungezi Koko has the story.
Today's proceedings were delayed by a dispute between the state and defense over broadcasting the hearing. Delivering his judgment, Acting Judge David Mango ruled that the state's witnesses were credible and that the police's investigations had uncovered strong evidence of wrongdoing.
Guilty knowingly in employing an illegal foreigner. And the last count 160, all the accused are acquitted.
The victims were given medical care before being deported to Malawi without any charges. 6 of the convicted remain in custody while one's bail is extended for health reasons as they await sentencing. Mungezi Koko, Eyewitness News at the Johannesburg High Court.
Former Johannesburg Mayor Kabelo Kwamanda says he plans to retaliate after losing his job over a fraud case that has now been dropped. Kwamanda and his co-accused Mduduzi Zondo appeared at the Protea Magistrates Court today, where the state announced it was provisionally withdrawing all charges against them. The pair initially faced multiple counts of fraud for allegedly swindling Soweto residents through a funeral policy scam they ran between 2011 and 2012. Tabiso Goba reports.
Court records show the fraud case against Kabelo Kwamanda was registered in May 2023, the same month he became mayor of Johannesburg. Kwamanda says the fraud charges hanging over his head contributed to him losing his job as mayor and subsequently as MMC for community development.
I have lost a job, 2 jobs as a matter of fact. I have lost my reputation. I have been criminalized by the white monopoly capital establishment. So it is only fair that I retaliate and everyone must account.
Kwamanda remains an ordinary PR councillor for the Johannesburg municipality. He says he's still considering all his options regarding his next move. Tabiso Koba, Eyewitness News.
And Health Minister Aaron Motsoaledi has revealed that out of 1.1 million people who do not take their HIV/AIDS treatment, the majority are men. Motsoaledi was speaking at the launch of an HIV treatment gap campaign in Soweto today. He says 65% of people tested for the virus are women, additionally complaining that men are lagging behind in seeking health care. Motsoaledi urged men to join efforts to eliminate the public threat caused by the virus. And look at your weather. Clear skies in store for Gauteng tomorrow. Joburg will drop to overnight lows of 13 degrees and peak at highs of 27. Pretoria is at 16 and 30. Vereeniging at 14, also at highs of 27 degrees. Mikey Malapo, Eyewitness News.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
#MSW.
You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High-dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind and execution.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
React on the standard of refereeing the PSL. Till when are we going to be crying about the referees? Makehleni Makaola handled the ball inside the box, but no penalty was given.
For me, also another big problem are those who are entrusted with giving us direction, and they give pretty different opinions about the same things. I always think that if the laws of the game are the laws of the game and what they are, and especially for those who have refereed before and they've been given jobs to give us guidance on television and other platforms as well, that surely there should be a level of consistency. You can't have an opinion based on a law. Then what is the point of the law if there is no finality on what it means?
Pirates isazosibulala ngehappiness. Real Madrid iyaqhubeka isibulala ngehappiness. Mbappe is finding his groove. Hala Madrid.
And lastly, congratulations to Coach Kevin Hunt for staying in this league so long. There must be something special about him, and I just hope that one day he will write that book outlining what is it that is required for one to coach in this league for many years, and I think young and upcoming coaches can learn from him.
Would you never die?
Evening, Robert. My shareholders never die. Win. I go be that Usus. Tetama Point. Asbong. Defensive. Askis Bafana Bagis. Pirates. 9-10 more win. But Liverpool, the Sundowns, dominating. I go be that. Oh, Robert. Have a good week, my friend.
I'm going to have a beautiful week, man. I've heard your voice, never die. I've heard your rap. Are things really coming together at Amazulu?
Good evening, Mr. Marawa. Ukuluma Nuspongelena Wamkwani. What a weekend for my team, Amazulu, Mr. Marawa. I think things are coming together for Coach Uata and Coach Uvivi. The team is making sure that they cement their place to top 8.
Hey, I know the Usutu management and everybody else does listen to the show. If you got one supporter who supports you through thick and thin, it is him.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
Oh, Ben, such a busy Tuesday. It promises to be. It is #MSW. It is Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947. Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
All right, so tonight we're going to be shining the spotlight on a man who's making a significant impact in the world of rugby coaching. And also later on, though, Hakani Simbini is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. It's a powerhouse lineup, I can tell you that much. Coach Helsman from Itsom in the Eastern Cape. I mean, he's a former Selborne College mentor and also an integral part of the Bulls coaching staff. And when you look at the wealth of experience that he's gained, though, from his time with the Sharks and also the SA Schools A team, the time that he spent at the EP Kings Academy, I mean, he brings a unique blend of passion, strategy, talk about innovation to the Bulls. What I'm saying is get ready to delve into the mind of a rugby mastermind. That's what a lot of people have been whispering to me. I've seen him at work as well. He didn't see me, but I saw him. And we explore his journey, the vision, the plans for the future. You can also join us live on the YouTube channel. Post your comments as well as any question live there. He's the Bulls URC assistant coach. Is the one and only Piwe Nomlomo. But thank you so much for your time. Good evening and welcome.
Rob, good evening. Good evening to the listeners at home. Thank you so much for having me here.
I was going to say it's been a long time coming, hasn't it?
I hope so.
Well, from my side, 100%. Before we even talk about you and your journey and where you are and all the challenges that you step forward, it'll be wrong of me, although not part of your stable, to not touch on a story that really touched my heart, because I was hoping that he would overcome, he'd get better, he'll be back again on the rugby field. But it has turned out that unfortunately the Springbok great, Stormers legend, Stephen Kitsoff, I mean, he's been forced into premature retirement today. That announcement was made. I remember the many Xhosa commentators, Spicy Plum and so on. I don't know, for you, that news, how do you take it, given the significant role that he has played and the contribution that he has made?
Yeah, and also you kind of feel he was still too young.
Yes, 100%.
You're hoping he's got one more World Cup in him. And obviously, just in the rugby world, we wish him well for the future. It's never good to hear of news like that. I know how much he wanted to get back onto the park and play again. Like I said, it doesn't matter where you're at, whether you're at the Stormers or another team. At the end of the day, this is a human, and we all are touched by that.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I think all the different franchises become family. You all get to know each other, and you all become united, especially when you put on the green and gold for the Springboks and you represent the country. And I mean, he was getting so much closer to the 100 mark as well. But in the end, all I'm saying is that health comes first. I think the doctors were describing just how many centimeters or millimeters it was, from being a life-threatening injury. So we take the good and the bad. All I'm saying is that we'll have him in studio one of these days just to say thank you to him and reflect on a very, very colorful career that he's had as far as rugby is concerned. But hey, Spicy Plum, man, chin up. I think he's still got a massive role to play. It might not be on the field, but it is going to be a role in rugby one way or the other. How are you feeling? And firstly, congratulations, because we never got a chance, when the announcement was made. We all got the press release. It was on a certain 27th of June, 2024. And we were told, Currie Cup coach of the Blue Bulls was going to be yourself.
I don't know what to say, Rob. I want to say thank you. And then I want to say, it's been a good road so far. I don't want to say tough. It's been a journey, and it's continuing quite well at the minute.
What is the first thought, though, when you handed a role of this magnitude? And the history of the Blue Bulls as far as what rugby means to them, the history within the Currie Cup itself. We'll talk about the modern day other tournaments that are being played. But for you, to fall into the history of the coaches that have been there before you, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, you walk in and there's a monument with all the trophies that have been won.
Yeah.
So you kind of look back, it tells you how many Currie Cups. And like you're saying, now you are at the helm, we need to add on. And then you suddenly realize that all those men, that history, and you can see who's won that one, who's won that one. And then you realize that you are sitting with greatness here. And it's surreal at times. You try not to stay too long in that thought. Special. And again, I haven't probably sat down and thought about it. Time will come, because you get on with it. You get to work and off we go. However, you don't ever, especially being part of the Bulls, globally, it's just, it's massive.
The brand is solid.
Yeah.
And when you got a director of rugby who's a World Cup winner, when you got a director of rugby who's somebody that is so revered and respected globally, and he speaks very highly of you, what's your relationship like with Jake White?
No, I think I speak highly of him as well. So,
yeah.
No.
so it's a mutual thing.
No, and again, I've told this story numerous times to people, and nothing different. The beauty for me was we walked in, we went away with all the coaches, and it was simple. You're at the Bulls and you're expected to win. So do whatever it is that's necessary for you to win. And that for me was as simple as it can get. All it is. Make sure that you're going to win. Then do that. And if it's not going to help us win, don't do it. So you talk about the relationship. It's been like a mentorship role. Yeah. He's a really good man for me, because like you're saying, from a rugby perspective, he's done it all.
Yeah.
From a father perspective, he knows he's done it all, and certain things that we talk about that have nothing to do with rugby, and yet it comes back to rugby. So long may it last, and I'm thankful to him and for him.
The little nuances that come into modern day rugby, also travel fatigue is one of the things that people talk about, and maybe from a South African franchise perspective, regardless of which team it is, saying that South Africans at times are criticized for not prioritizing, let's say, the Champions Cup, for example. Is that something you get a lot, and how do we overcome that?
Yeah, good question, Rob, because I think it's always one way. Yes, South African teams get to a point where they go, you have to choose, just because of the depth of our squads. And obviously financially, you're playing against a French side, where they kept at 180 million rand, whatever the case is, where we've got only about 85. So those are the type of things that you've got to deal with, and you've got to balance, and you've got to see where it is in the season, what's left in terms of injuries and stuff like that. However, the one thing that people don't think about is also just emotionally, it's a lot to be the travel that we've got. Physically, yes, it hurts you a bit, especially economy and stuff like that. And the turnaround is so quick. However, just emotionally, it's a massive challenge to just be spending a massive amount of time just on the road.
I don't even play rugby. I still feel fatigued. I had a quick trip last week out of the country, and because of the time zones and everything else, it does drain you. So what does modern day medicine do? I've heard of coaches at times who then employ the whole, okay, guys, we are on the flight. By the time we get to New Zealand via whichever route you're going to be taking, it's going to be this time. So this time zone is going to be affecting you. So here's a couple of sleeping pills. so that it knocks you guys out. So when you do wake up, you're waking up at a time when you expected to wake up so that you're not struggling. Do you find that you rely a lot on that, or is that not a factor? Because some of the guys do struggle, whether, sleeping on the flight or being awake when they do land.
Yeah, I think we're quite blessed because we've got, as you can think, doctors, physios, strength and conditioners who really know what they're doing, and they're on top of the game when it comes to that sort of thing. So, for instance, we normally have to take 2 flights.
Sure.
So we'll try and sleep when it's going to be a normal time back at home initially. So whether it's the first or the second flight, but not both of them, just the awareness of that. And when you get back to, or you get to the other side, it's just making sure you recover as quick as possible. Yeah, and get on with it.
Because my concern is always about the player welfare. Sometimes people don't take that into cognizance, and we want to see the best players. So you get to the other side and they say, but they're using a B team, for example. How do you manage the players' welfare so that, number one, they're not injured for long periods of time, but, you're managing their times on the field versus the times of training versus the time of travel?
Yeah, and again, it depends when you're going to travel.
Yeah.
So, for instance, I'll talk about what's coming up for us. After the Stormers, we got 2 weeks where we don't play. Then it's a round of 16. That's in France, okay? Then you could possibly pick up Edinburgh or Lions. So you're either going to be going to Scotland or coming back home. And then we have to fly back because then we play 2 more games, Munster and Glasgow. Sure. And then it depends what's going to happen in the semi-final. So you're either packing a bag for 5 weeks or you could be packing it for 1. So it's that sort of thing where, exactly. So that's what I'm just emotionally, you got to be so stable and understand exactly what it is that we're after. And again, we're incredibly blessed to have the people that we have, sports scientists, and they'll tell us, okay, this is the best time where guys must rest. And they guide us well, because they'll tell you the load that's needed for the game and stuff like that. Yeah.
Just what you've described now, and I'm thinking to myself, the fans, regardless of where they are, because wherever you travel, South Africans always are there, they're present, you see the flags, you hear the singing when the anthem's being sung, etc. When you look at that particular load and the expectation from the fans, they don't care.
Yeah.
They want to see the result the way they want to see the result. Does that put even added pressure? You're in a pressure cooker of a job as it is. But just that factor that we're talking about now, and the fact that, hey, fans have paid top dollar to go to the stadium to go and watch a game. They want you to win. What does that do for you as a coach?
I think the beauty of our franchise at the minute is the bigger the occasion, the more our guys rise. So the fuller the stadium, the more they feel that, and of course you can, especially at home. So that helps a hell of a lot. So even in the week, playing the Stormers, it's going to be full house on the weekend. You understand? Without a doubt. And you can see that just the preparation is a bit different. When you greet the guy on the Monday, there's not much said there.
The results are so important. I'm going to mix things up here because, with the limited time, and I don't want to lose track of your success, though, as you headed into your top job, coaching the Currie Cup team as the head coach. Largely unbeaten. I think when I looked at the start and you're playing Western Province, good victory. I saw the game against the Griffins, 52-10. It was great result. You beat the Cheetahs as well, 25-13. So all very, very convincing. Firstly, congratulations on that. What a way to begin a journey. What do you make of what you observed and what it took for you to achieve those particular results?
Thank you again. I think I'm going to talk about the franchise because the franchise is in a strong place, and that's why we can build on that. So we came and we built at the back of a very, very good URC campaign. So we were training at a different intensity altogether, because we got to the final. So we were blessed in that even the guys that weren't getting much opportunity were training at that intensity, and really good players, talented guys. So I mean, one of the biggest thing that I like is, I don't know, I'll say it, maybe the players don't feel it, is you give freedom, but in the freedom there's got to be responsibility.
And discipline,
Yeah. So maybe at the back of that, and again, it's just a different voice. I'm new to the franchise last season. So maybe that helped a lot in terms of, and again, we were just different in how we did things maybe, and it worked to our favor.
So did you find that the flair element was able to come out though? Because now you've given the players that freedom.
Yeah, I think also Currie Cup allows you to play a different way.
Yeah.
You know, like we said, we in the entertainment business, whether we like it or not. Yes, there's pressure and everything else that comes with it. However, people are not going to come if they're not entertained.
And it's a boring, structured game, and there's nothing. And if you got Werner working with you, if you got Kennedy Nzimba, who's a World Rugby Hall of Famer, and he was a very exciting person. I mean, also just knowing him and the kind of rugby he played, I wouldn't imagine Dal next to his name.
Yeah, but both guys that you mentioned, it's good conversations, it's growing conversations. We challenge each other to grow. I mean, Jean Tit was with us last season as well, and now he's gone to URC, which is great for him. And again, like you say, those two guys, Veris has played over 100 games for Bulls in the Currie Cup, over 100 games in the Super Rugby. Yeah. Ken, like you say, Hall of Famer. So those are really just good people to just surround yourself with as well, because they've done it all, and most of the time they just let the kids play.
Sure. All right, we're going to be playing more Piwe Nomlomo after the break. As I said, he's touching base, though. He owes us more time. He owes us the entire hour. But I think we decided, you know what, it's a heavy schedule that they do have. But let's not lose focus of the success for him as an individual, but also the collective.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. #MSW.
Growing up, Gert always dreamed of being a famous actor until somebody told him to break a leg. Now he's in sales and he needs that promotion. But he's terrified to work his fingers to the bone. For Gert, T-bone steaks should be called T-steaks, and the trombone should be called funny trumpet. Yeah. Because Gert is one of the few that has a fear of bones. Shame, man. Gert, this is a message just for you. Chicken Licken Soul Bites are boneless, 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 boneless. Boneless bites of soul. Get 9 bite-sized, bone-free, delicious soul bites for only $45. For people like you, Gertie, and everyone else. Chicken Licken. Soul food.
Experience the ultimate winter escape and cruise the Mediterranean with Royal Caribbean, where sun-kissed beaches and ancient cities await. Explore destinations like Barcelona, Florence, Naples, and Rome by day. Then unwind with world-class dining and live entertainment by night. Your dream holiday is waiting for you on board the newly amplified Allure of the Seas. Visit cruises.co.za or your local travel agent to book your Royal Caribbean cruise now. T's and C's apply.
Honey, what are you doing?
I'm stretching for tonight.
I thought you're not dancing at bachelorette parties anymore.
Baby, we need the money to put Johnny through matric mos.
And what's the police uniform for?
The clients feel safer when I wear it.
No, man, just sell your bucky to We Buy Cars. They give the best prices and they pay you within minutes.
Okay, but can I just go and dance one more time, please? You know how much I love it.
No, the buyer's already on his way here.
Wow, okay.
Strapped for cash? Just sell your vehicle to We Buy Cars. The easiest way to sell your car by far.
Experience more unbeatable deals this Big Deal Wednesday at Food Lovers Market. Buy 1 large watermelon for 50 Rand and get a second watermelon absolutely free. That's 2 watermelons for just 50 Rand. And enjoy delicious pork ribbon loin chops at an incredible $69.99 per kilo. Valid this Wednesday only at all inland Food Lovers Market stores. It's in the experience.
Big news! Deal or No Deal has awarded over 7.5 million Rand cash and continues to change lives. So, join me free Katleho and stand to win up to 250,000 Rand by registering on dealournodealsa.tv. Catch Deal or No Deal weekdays on SABC2 at 11 a.m. or 6:30 p.m. and on SABC3 at 5:30 p.m. Proudly sponsored by Lottostar.
Lottostar is licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18s. National Responsible Gambling Program. 0800 006 008. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Is there ever a tournament more disrespected than the African Cup of Nations? The coverage is completely tinged with racism. Completely tinged. You're getting journalists asking players, players getting asked if they will be honouring the call-ups for their national teams. Imagine if that was an English player representing the Three Lions. Have you ever heard anybody asking an English player if will he be honouring the call-up? Can you imagine the furore? Loads of the best players in Europe right now are African. And if we love them at club level, why can't we love them at international level like their counterparts from across the globe? Why can't we? Constantly getting so much flack. The shaming has gone on for too long.
It should be respected more than it is. The narrative then from the media becomes, oh, it's like it's a Mickey Mouse tournament. But it ain't. That actually equals the Euros and the Copa America. I think that's the point.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
The name is Piwe Nomlomo. He's the head coach of the Blue Bulls, the Vodacom Bulls. The Currie Cup team. He also works in conjunction with Coach Jake White as the director of rugby. He's a man, URC dominance. He's a man with a vision. Exciting coach, bringing a lot of difference, though, to individuals, giving opportunities to players as well that maybe might not have been given those opportunities had he not stepped up. As I said, working alongside some of the greats in Werner Kruger, Kennedy Zimba. And what a Currie Cup team they had, man. And what a campaign. Virtually unbeaten. I mean, I like lessons, when you talk about lessons, and I say, some of the lessons that would have come through from URC 2024-25, especially after losing the 2023-24 final at Loftus. Hey, that one against Glasgow. Hey, there would have been a lot of lessons learned from there.
I certainly hope so, and it's what drives us all the time. So,
Yeah.
we got Glasgow in 3 games' time, whatever the case is. So, that could be quite tasty. Like you say, our biggest lessons were we got to the final in the URC, and we really had to sit down and just have a good look as to we're at home. It's the second time we would have played Glasgow, and then they came. And then in the Currie Cup, you don't lose the semi, but you don't win it either, and then you're knocked out. So it's a double-edged sword, I think. If you sit too long and wonder, you almost got to just lick your wounds and get on with it.
Yeah. And fourth year of participation now when you look at the URC, our rugby versus Northern Hemisphere. What are some of the differences that you would say you've mustered? And has SA Rugby improved in that way or caught up? Because sometimes we self-criticize quite a lot.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that we were taught was probably around, especially coming from Super Rugby, game management and the kicking game. There's plans in place. It's not just a kick for the sake of a kick. So you learn the nitty-gritties as well. When it's wet, you got to play a bit different. When it's windy, it's very different. So I think just the conditions and how small maybe the grounds are. You're playing in a stadium where there's 10,000 people, and it's all
those
on
little
top of
homely
exactly,
ones. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So those things are quite important. And you play against French side. Anyone can tell you a lot of things, but you got to experience it yourself in terms of how hostile it can get.
Maybe a crazy question is, we all sit and admire, and you're like, okay, fine, that's a player from a different franchise, but it catches your eye. So, especially from a South African perspective, which player would you say has stood out for you?
All the Springboks.
All of them?
No, you know what, Rob? I'm actually a rugby enthusiast first before anything else. So you appreciate certain people and you watch and you go, that's a really good player. I like the way he plays. And probably a bit biased, maybe. A guy like Grant Williams.
Yes.
Yeah. So spend a bit of time with Greaser coming up, and I really enjoy the way that he plays, the way he thinks about the game, the way he prepares. And again, probably another guy is scrum half also at the Sharks as well, Jaden Hendrickson. Sure. Those two guys, just their processes around the game. Yeah. I really quite enjoyed.
All right. I think very open-minded. I mean, you spend time at the Sharks. You would know a lot of the guys, others who came after you had left as well. But I think very, very opinionated, but also very fair in terms of that assessment, because we all look and say, what is the future? What are the future stars like? Who will be the next big name? And for you, outside of the two that you've just mentioned now, is there somebody who is just bubbling under the radar that has yet to explode into, the South African rugby scene that we should be aware of?
Yeah, he's bubbling under, but he's been kept now. And I think the world has quite seen him. We've seen him multiple times. So he hasn't been bubbling under for us. And he's young. Yeah. Cameron Hanekom, he's a beast of a human. Yeah, he's unbelievable.
And the potential's endless there.
Yeah, I don't even know if you can call it potential. Something is endless there, because there's nothing he can't do, really. He's that special.
And it's one of those where you can talk about it and say, when you're gifted, what do you do to safeguard that gift?
I think he's got it because the humility in him
allows him.
Is incredible. He's been blessed with this gift, and he's honed it, and yet he's not too big.
The ego's not.
No. He still sits at the same place where he sat at. He eats the same, talks to the same mates. So there's nothing different to him at all.
Which is very bright there. Coach, it's a very busy next couple of weeks, as you said. We just thought, let's make you pop in here. Wish you the best of luck. Say we are watching, but South Africa also just wanted to salute you. All the best in the travels. I hope it's I don't know what you wish for, whether it's a 5-week packing or whether it's a 1-week packing, but whichever one it is, may it yield the results that you wanted to yield. And hopefully it's a positive one.
Thank you so much for having me, Rob.
Piwe Nomlombo, thank you very much indeed. As I said, guys, it's a jam-packed show today. We've got, superstar coaches to super athletes, and Akani Simbin is warming up.
Hello, Rob. I hope you're having a beautiful day, man. I'm watching Banyana Banyana game here against Lesotho, the second leg. I'm impressed by Dr. Ellis's choice of players. I like some of the players there. I'd like to mention there's Mibe, the left wing, very good. Mokoma partnering with Simaile there, centre back. Wow, exciting. The Ludwig, jersey number 17. I don't know whether I'm wrong or what. I saw her play for, was it UJ or Janine van Veek's team. It's very good. I think with such players, we're going somewhere, Rob. I think those will be good replacements for the likes of Refilo Jaime, who's no longer with us right now, and the central pairing there. I think we're going somewhere. Thanks. This is Archie from Motlake. Thank you, Rob.
Good evening, Mr. Marawa. Mr. Marawa, I'm a little bit surprised with the resignation of Coach Kanu Vilakazi at Lesotho. After a great run from the team, I really don't know what makes him to take such decision, but I think Coach Atazwane, Coach Nini Vilakazi, the other assistant coach at the club, will do well together because they've been together for a while now, since the start of the season. So I don't see it as a train smash, but it's very sad to lose one of our coaches at this time of the season. But let's hope things will remain the same. The team will continue with a good run. Thank you, Mr. Marawa. Good show as always. I wish Coach Vilakazi everything of the best in his next move. Thank you.
All right, keep sending your WhatsApp voice notes. It is hashtag MSW Marawa Sport Worldwide. It's as lightning quick this show as the man that's sitting in front of me. I mean, he paid a visit to his boyhood favorite club, Kaizer Chiefs, just a couple of days or maybe a month ago. I think he wanted to go and motivate the lads at Nigerina and just really enjoy the moment. I think we're starting to see the results coming through from a Kaizer Chiefs perspective. I think it's those pearls of wisdom must have rubbed off quite nicely on the players because, yeah, they're smiling a little bit now. But you know what, let's leave that aside. That's not the issue for today. It's a new season of track that is looming, and we're going to be reflecting on the past season's success and also some of the shortcomings. Life off the pitch. I mean, as I was saying to him as he walked in, that the last time I saw him, he was plain fingered. Now there's a little bit of jewelry that is dragging him down somewhat, but in a positive way. He'll touch on it in just a second. I mean, what a journey it's been for him. Incredibly fast gentleman. Some people have described him as stocky and explosive. I mean, he's made heads turn as a teenager when he stormed to victory. If he remembers back in the 100-meter final at the Zone 6 games, that was in Lusaka, back in December of 2012. I mean, he clocked 10.19 seconds. And he shattered the national junior record then by 0.11. And he has since gone on to shatter multiple barriers. He's lifted the coveted crown as South Africa's fastest man. At times, this dreaded thing called injuries have also hampered his progress over the years. But I mean, what a run at the Paris Olympic Games last year. The one and only, ladies and gentlemen, Akani Simbini.
Yeah, what an introduction. I was smiling the whole way.
I was trying not to leave anything out, man. Hey.
No, thank you for that. Thank you for that, Rob.
What did I leave out? I don't know.
I don't think you left out anything. You touched everything. Literally. That was my whole career.
Summarized.
Yeah, literally. That's crazy.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you very much. Thank you, man.
How's married life?
Beautiful. Settled, nice, lovely, but nothing changes, man. Everybody says, what changes in the marriage? I'm like, nothing. We're still the best of friends. We're still dating. It is what it is.
You're still shelling.
Yeah, I'm still shelling her, sending her flowers, making her feel special there, saying, hey, let's go on a date.
You don't miss birthdays?
No, I can't. Yeah, I miss birthdays. I'm in the dog box. So
when is her birthday?
Oh, October.
Oh, October's
the
whole
15th.
full month. Oh, okay. All right. I'm just testing. Just doing a quick quiz.
I know that for sure.
You saw time goes very quickly on this show. Your debut. I mean, we were watching the indoor meeting in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
Interesting, different.
Yeah.
Like I've never done an indoor season ever in my career. So we're trying something different now. And it's like it was really different. Like also being in the winter, in the cold, the European cold, it hits different.
So different how though, but also why the intention to try something new?
So different because it's colder that side. We run in arenas, we run in a smaller space. You warm up, your warm-up is not the same. You warm up in a corridor that's maybe 20 meters long, and that's not normal for us, And then why we're trying it is because it's a section of my race where I feel, my team feels that I need to improve in. Okay. And getting that improvement will help me run faster. And with 100 meters, we're always looking for a 0.01 or 0.02, to be faster because that gets you on the podium. And that's what I missed out on, a 0.01. And that's what we're looking for. And that is something that we can find doing the 60 meters because it literally, there's a point in my race where I can get that 0.01. It can even be 0.03 that I can get from it.
But what is it though? I mean, when you're on a normal track and you feel that you are leading and you're winning, and then your time drops, is it what? Is it more mental than seeing it right through until the end?
No, I think also we have to look at the phase of training that you're in.
Yeah.
Because you could have been loaded and you are running on fatigue legs. You know, that's why you're running slower. But when you see us go to championship, we're running on fresh legs, we've rested, we tapered for that championship. That's why most of the guys that ran in the final ran PBs, you know, and you running fresh. Now, when we're running on the Diamond League circuit, you're still training. You're training as hard as you should be training, you know, and you're not tapering. You're going to Diamond Leagues, running on heavy legs, running from training, doing a tough session, a tough week of training. And then obviously you're not going to run fast because the body is also fatigued.
Jeez, I like the outfit you're wearing.
I'm matching today.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.
Dear Journal, day 3045 of trying to be an adult. I can't figure out the secret to working, cooking, cleaning, exercising, socializing, and sleeping all in one day. It's exhausting. Maybe the answer is to do it all f***ing terribly.
Got evicted from the family home? Get covered at pineapple.co.za. It's like 570 Rand a month, so it's 100% the insurance for you. Underwritten by Old Mutual Alternative Risk Transfer Insurer Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP. Premiums are risk profile dependent.
Love your home? Then don't miss the Homemakers Fair. With over 300 exhibitors, your home transformation journey starts here. Get expert advice, compare costs, and connect with trusted service providers, all under one roof. Explore 4 halls across 3 levels packed with inspiration, from decor to renovation and everything in between. It's more than an exhibition. It's where dream homes begin. 28th February to 2nd March at Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit. Homemakers Fair. Dream it. Do it.
Are you living with diabetes? Tired of painful fingerstick tests? The Freestyle Libre 2 system by Abbott Laboratories sends glucose readings straight to your compatible smartphone. With minute-by-minute glucose readings, optional glucose alarms, and excellent accuracy, the Freestyle Libre system is here to support you in the management of your diabetes. For more information and where to buy Freestyle Libre 2, speak to your healthcare professional or visit www.freestylelibre.za.com. Now available at your local pharmacy.
Charge into running rugby action with Hollywood Bets. Grab the chance to win big and enjoy every try, tackle, and triumph when you back your favorite teams in international and local rugby fixtures. Be in the game and bet today.
Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
From cool beach hangouts to underwater adventures. From indoor tropical rainforests to thrilling theme parks. A Dubai holiday has it all. Fly better to Dubai with Emirates and start your holiday the moment you board with delicious regional meals, complimentary drinks, and amazing entertainment. Book now on Emirates.com. Fly Emirates. Fly better.
The musical phenomenon that's taken Broadway by storm, Dear Evan Hansen, is coming to Joburg.
Dear Evan Hansen.
Live on stage at Monte Casino's Teatro from the 15th of March to the 13th of April. A winner of 6 Tony Awards, including Best Musical, and from the writers of The Greatest Showman. Dear Evan Hansen is a must-see story of hope, connection, and finding your voice. Book your seats now at showtime.co.za. Dear Evan Hansen, you will be found. In association with Mnet and 947.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Rob, I've been noticing a very worrying pattern when it comes to the conduct and professionalism of our journalists. I was watching the post-match conference that was conducted with Musin Etugal at Orlando Stadium after the game, and one journalist showed not only his ignorance.
Did you check what I did? I was on the head of the Turkish national team. What means that? Do you think that I'm not on the same line of the international football?
By asking Musin Etugal what has he been doing since he was last in South Africa.
Google leave it back. There are 7 trophies on my cabinet. So I can lecture a little bit that I did that with my Turkish national team, so I was not out of the game. I think that was a bit disrespectful what you're saying.
Andrew, thank you so much indeed. I think that was trending pretty much the entire weekend.
#MSW. #MSW.
talked about a super athlete. We have a super athlete right here in studio. You can follow the conversation on the YouTube channel. Wherever you are around the country, the continent, or the world, Akani Simbini is my guest. And we were talking all matters to do with a new life, a new journey, but also just looking at the indoor meeting that was held in Germany and the reasons why. And I think it really accounted for something that does make a great deal of sense. But then Potchefstroom. I mean, you move from Germany, you come to Potchefstroom. This is where now Atlantic South Africa has this wonderful national championships, and somebody has to defend their title. That somebody is you. Are you coming back for that?
Hey man, my title is something that's a personal thing for me, so I have to come defend it. But I think if I win this one, it's going to be my 10th title. So hey, we'll see, man. Let's just get to. It's in 2 months, you know. Let's just keep working. Like that's one thing I'm focused on now. Working on getting to essays, yes, but my focus is not essays. My focus for the last 10 years has never been essays. It's always been the championship, going to world champs, trying to win a medal at world championships. Because the South African season is so early in the year. So if you focus all your training on just one thing, by the time the actual real season starts, you're done. And a lot of what comes from us is a lot of emotion, man. Like it's if the emotion part of it is gone and you tired from racing, you're tired from competing, because that's draining. You can't get it back, man. And you just do this, you know. That's a lot. That's what happens a lot after like a major championship.
But why don't you get to a stage where your form hits a bit of a speed wobble? Mentally, you start to think otherwise, because I'll be honest, a lot of commentators didn't give you a shot at the Olympic Games.
They always like try to look over me, you know. But there's one thing that I've always proven, like year after year, that I will make a final, and you will not count me out of a medal. Like literally, I will always be there fighting for a medal. And in the since 2016, all those championships, I've been there. Fourth, fifth, you know? And it's like, I'm there, you know? So you cannot just count me out, you know? And my career has been a career of like constantly showing up, constantly being there. I've been the only sprinter that has been at so many finals in the last decade.
Sure.
And that is an achievement in its own. Yes, I don't have the medal. Yes, I haven't won a world champs medal, an Olympic medal in the 100 meters. But the fact is, I'm always there. And I might be getting older and running, you know, more mature, but I still show up. You know, the younger guys might be coming in, but I still show up. You know, and that's one thing that I back myself with.
And then the training camp in Europe, when are you leaving for that?
I think we're going to be gone around end of May, beginning June, because I've changed my calendar in a sense, because I'm doing indoors. There's World Indoors coming up next month, which is in China. And then after World Indoors, there's the Diamond Leagues that are in April that I need to do. And then in May, there's the World Relays that we have to do. So it's literally competition, and then we need to come back and kind of regroup before we go to camp. Regroup, train here, and then once it starts getting cold,
you're gone.
I'm already talking to my coach and telling him I need to be out.
Allergic to the cold.
Very much so.
Hi, good evening, Rob, and good evening to guests. Mkani, congratulations once more on your achievement, you and your team in the recent Olympics, you know, speaking to Riani in the Western Cape. My question to Zimkani is that how can we take athletics, you know, especially at previous disadvantage schools, because as things stands now is that athletics, you only run it in the beginning of the year at previously disadvantaged schools, you know, with limited resources. However, at the former Model C schools, you know, during the year, you get those seals that they're running against various other schools, you know, so so forth, you know, whereby our schools is that if you do the inter-house and you don't go past inter-house, athletics will use done for the year. So how can we make athletics all round the year sport, you know, because I don't think it's only limited to January as it is with former Model C schools. Thank you. Bye.
Good question. Have you got an answer for us?
I actually do. So funny enough, I just launched my foundation now, the Kanesimina Foundation, and in the sports side of the foundation. So the foundation is divided into three: sports, education, and welfare. And on the sports side is we have partnered with a group called I forgot the name. Sorry, man. But responsible with we've partnered with a group that now we identified 2 schools. We've adopted 2 schools now where we bring in the coach, and he coaches the athletes. He'll coach the athletes, and then from coaching the athletes, now he gets to send them to competitions. You know, and now he's entered the kids they're going to districts this week. They're competing at districts. This is 20 kids from Claremont Primary, and then 8 kids from Isakelo Primary School, which is in Tembisa. And that's like 28 of our kids that are now going to compete at the districts. From the districts, he continues coaching them and teaching them the sport and teaching them the drills and all these things. And he'll go through the year preparing them for the actual young kids season, which goes from July into August into September. And then once they get done with their championship there, they have a break, and then they start October, November preparing for the school season again. That's in January, February. So we actually do have a solution to it. It's just we're trying to make sure it works.
Is
properly.
it viable? Is it financially viable? Is it sustainable?
We're trying to get there as the foundation, you know. We're trying to get pull through sponsors and partners that want to actually do this thing with us, you know, and that's the whole goal now, you know, to get partners on board so that they can assist us with making it viable financially, you know.
But do you find that there is that appetite though for athletics? I had a similar conversation last week. And I'm glad that we also starting to feature athletics more often, because I think it's needed by the country. We don't want to just see the guys that meet every 4 years and we have a hero, then it disappears and so on. I think we need to keep the conversation going all year round as well. But is it something that you believe, with all of those things ticked, that is viable and can be sustained?
Yes, it is. There is an appetite from it from corporates, you know, because they are about supporting initiatives that do develop sports. You know, developing sports on a private side is really a big thing, you know. And athletics has grown to a point now where they literally had all the bond races last week, and the biggest bond is the A bond. And that's about 12,000 people that come and watch, or that are at the stadium watching athletics and watching the top schools that are running. And with the program that we're doing, the whole plan is to enter them into these bonds so that they can get the experience of running against these schools that they speak of, that have the structure of a league, of an athletics camp, you know. So then by the time that they are going better and getting older, they can, you know, expand their wings, you know, join better clubs, you know, and then, you know, they're not being thrown in the dark side and just saying, okay, so swim, you know. So it is there, you know. It's just being able to knock on the right doors.
Okay, all right, and I always say that the right doors are people within earshot of this conversation who are listening and can say, okay, guys, play a role. You're too popular for us, and the thing is, you know, time does run out, and your schedule has been very, very busy. Lots of voice notes that are coming through, so let me not be a bad person.
Hey Marawa, umkhumbi Khumalolo. Let me also greet Mr. Simbini Akani. And I just want to say, we are very blessed in our lifetime, in as much as people will talk about in football, about Messi, about Ronaldo, to have such talent in our lifetime. Who has inspired a lot of athletes in South Africa. We are very blessed. We are very blessed. We are very proud of you, Akani. Whatever you want to do in life, just know that this country is behind you. And well done. We're still living off the inspiration that you gave us during your time in France, and the boys that you went in there, that you inspired. We are very lucky and very blessed.
You loved football. We almost lost you to athletics, to football.
Yes.
You'd have played professionally and been great. But here we are. And the irony is that he likened you to the Messis of this world,
That's
which I think is not wrong. How do you respond?
I don't know, man. I think that voice note just got me a little bit emotional. I think for me, my career has been just a blessing, and just to know that I'm able to touch a lot of people, a lot of people's lives, like for me that touches me because it's not something I intended doing. I didn't intend to run so I can be popular or inspire other people. I was just running because I loved running, and I was always just the fastest kid. But I'm very grateful for that, and I'm very grateful for the support. Like yeah, man. It's touching, man. I'm very touched, and I'm very grateful for the support that I have back home and here, man. It's yeah.
Like I said, man, when people heard that you're around, the line started flashing, a lot of voice notes started coming in, and why not? You deserve it. You've given more than most.
Good evening, Rob, and good evening to Akani Simbini. Rob, I can safely say Akani Walikosi, a Kaizer Chiefs supporter. I just want to find out from you, man, how many photos you took on Sunday with the supporters at Eldos, because I saw you engaging everyone politely and taking pictures with a smile. And for me, it was quite humbling experience to see an athlete of your stature being so humbled and engaging in that manner. But what is it that we need to do differently to prepare for Los Angeles Olympics from track and field events so that we can be able to bring more medals? Thank you so much.
Tebogo, thank you so much indeed. So just very quickly, how do we need to prepare differently? Maybe firstly, how many photos did you take at Eldos?
This weekend we had the Legends Marathon.
Yeah.
And it was literally amazing, I think I don't even know. I had a lot of pictures, but for me it wasn't about, getting there to take the pictures. It was showing support, and the foundation backed the marathon, and it's really great so that we can actually give back to the communities and let leave something in the communities that is very impactful. We didn't just show up, just say we're doing this thing and then go. I know Sheldon has planned for Aldos. I have plans for Aldos with the school that we're busy with. And it's something that's going to move through the townships. That's what we're planning on. So yeah, man, it was a super experience. And your second question to how do you prep for 28? I think we've started, man. I think Saskok has actually been very proactive with that now.
Good.
And it's looking positive, it's looking positive on the side of the support that they want to give the athletes, and they are really starting to talk about 28 and how do we get the athletes to 28, which athletes are they supposed to be looking at for 28 and preparing them, because we can't start in 2028. It doesn't make sense.
And we've been guilty of that many a time.
Yes.
You got the World Champs coming up later this year. They're happening in Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
You're obviously going to be a part of it.
That's the plan, yes.
Okay, Diamond League also?
Yes, that's the plan. Definitely.
Which one?
China. I'll be doing China. That's what we know for now. And then we'll see. I know just the immediate ones will be China, and then we move on.
I was trying to calculate your relationship with Werner Prinsloo has now lasted over. It's like a decade around there. What's the glue? What keeps you guys together? And what's next best?
I think
ambition-wise,
Coach and I think when we had started, Coach didn't know anything about he hadn't also been exposed to the pro world.
Yeah,
I didn't know nothing about this world. So we both started together and we figured the thing out together, and every time when there's something to figure out, we'll do it together, So I think that's why it works. And I'm able to tell him, nah, this thing doesn't work. And he'll be like, you're not listening to me, do it like this, do it like this. It's like he calls it like a long marriage, He's like, this is like your longest marriage. I'm like, yeah, it kind of is, but it's
lots of fights and arguments, but it's for a positive thing.
Yeah, it's for a positive thing, and we're growing in the sport together. We're learning about the sport together. And I just hope that, he's able to attract more younger athletes that are open enough to learn. Because I think that's the one thing that the kids don't want to do. They think they know it and they just going to come and just run. But at my age and me being such a a long-term sprinter.
Yeah.
I'm always asking coach, how can I be better? I'm looking for ways to learn. I'm looking for ways to be fast and to be better.
That's a mindset thing. When you got time in your busy schedule, sir, please come and spend an hour with us.
Anytime, invite me, Rob. I can make time for you anytime. Just let me know and I'll give you an hour.
You know, the thing is, it's sad when I leave all these voice notes unplayed. Because it comes from a very good heart from people that support you, have supported you, will continue to support you. Ladies and gentlemen, our super athlete, Akani Simbini, thank you so much, man.
I appreciate it.
What an honor.
Man.
What a pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me, and thank you to everybody that sent the voice notes that we couldn't listen to, and thank you for the support of South Africa. And yeah, man, let's keep doing this thing all together and taking athletics to the world.
Listen to him back announcing a future radio DJ in the making. Hey, tune in again tomorrow. It is Marawa Sports Worldwide, brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets. #MSW. Live now on 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live. At the same time. #MSW.